95% of actually good B2B agencies will never make it to $100,000 a month at international scale. I know this because I've ran a content marketing agency myself, making over $200,000 its first year in operations, and I ran into all of the same roadblocks that our current partners did before they started working together with us. And here's what they were. Inconsistent lead flow. So the income of the company is reliant on the hope that these agencies earn a recommendation from doing great work for one of their existing clients. But the thing is, a lot of these companies also do recognize that this is a problem, so they attempt to fix it by doing low ROI client acquisition stuff. For example, they hire human sales staff, and this is a problem because they now have to create an HR department, put a lot of time and effort into training them, oftentimes whilst being incompetent to train salespeople. But then there's the other side that attempt to run ads to an underdeveloped front-end funnel that is, for example, like a complex website or a website without a clear CTA. The second thing my agency had in common with a lot of the partnering agencies that I work with now is that we were locked to a strictly local market. And it's not because they or me wanted to, but because we allowed it to happen. See, most of the work, if it comes in from referrals, the referrals probably other local business owners that their clients know, thus they limit themselves to a strictly local audience, which puts me and a lot of other founders in basically a non-scalable environment once we hit a certain threshold. The third thing a lot of founders run into is a lack of a clearly defined offer or target audience who they aim to solve a core problem for. So they basically become an agency for everybody. And what ends up happening in those cases, I'm talking about these agencies. You come to an ad agency and they say, so how much do you want your ad budget to be? Where do you want to run your ads? Do you want to do Google or do you want to just do meta ads? How about a website developer who you come to and they say, hey, what do you want your page to look like? How many pages do you want on your website? This sort of stuff, right? Because in most cases, the clients that do come to you, they expect that they have approached an expert and they have a goal in mind. And they want the expert to guide them, say what to do, what not to do, to reach the revenue goal that they have sought after with their companies. The fourth one, no system across their sales. So these agencies might have great systematized execution of their services, but for some odd reason, the front end does not get the same level of respect. So there's no idea who to follow up with, when to follow up with the person, who to close, who to reschedule. None of this is clear. So with this not settled, these agencies aren't ready for quantifying their current client counts. And finally, no qualification or closing framework. At this point, this is Basics 101, yet 90% of SMB targeting agencies, especially those reaching out to buyers themselves, have no system to qualify the client's budget, intent, and even ready buyers very often get turned away due to incompetent closers being on their team, even themselves. So instead of going over the dues for the $100,000 a month MRR agency, instead, I want to show you and put a bit more focus on the quote-unquote lazy way to achieve that same result, which is what we built out ourselves from scratch and now provide as basically a ready-made system for B2B agencies. So the first thing as part of the lazy way, well, this is just unavoidable, we needed to solve the offer also on our side, to tailor specifically to B2B agencies, since this is the one niche our system works best for. Think of it like this. Sales systems is something that every company needs. Sure, we're automations. But if we're able to achieve 10 times higher results for agencies than, say, like a fitness coach, I personally do not want to risk ruining my reputation by lack of performance or just have a meh offer overall that's kind of equally shit for everybody. And for partners, well, that's even better. There is no need to manually solve your offer to appeal to an audience, since your offer most of the time is probably already good. It just needs a few tweaks and some specific targeting. So here's what we do for our partners. So this is Sales Company IO system partners, right? It is literally done for you, which sounds kind of impossible, but here's how that looks like. Our team redevelops how your current offer is positioned in the market to sell it at a higher price to those who actually need it. Example, as a website developer, we now go from we sell a website to we help low-ticket e-com businesses increase conversions by 2 times in the first 30 days by reworking storefronts and creating guided on-site funnels the clients actually interact with. Now this sounds a whole lot better than, oh, we sell a website, do you want to buy one, right? The second thing that's also a very, very large part of the lazy way is data. If you want to reach companies, we need data, right? So the first thing that we had to do is we already have our audience now nailed down and identified. So we went scouring the internet, acquiring all of the right data tools and everything, right? So once the data gets extracted, it's pulled only fresh, and we have team members that manually deduplicate all of them, sort the active ones, the inactive ones, do all of this stuff to ensure that the people that we end up reaching are actually legitimate, still functioning companies, not something that you buy off of like some lead site that has leads of like businesses that have been dead for like the past 20 years. And now for our system partners, we have it easier once again, right? So for the data part, we now already have an offer created in place for a specific audience. Thus, we already have an audience identified because our team already crafts it out for you fully, right? And all you need to do from this point onwards is, you can go look for data and search it as well from your end, but you don't have to spend necessarily waste time on all of this stuff. What we've made possible is you can literally just log on our website, salescompany.io, where you're watching this already, go to the lead packs section, and you can directly order your ideal client profile leads and have them already pre-sorted and basically ready for outreach right off the bat. And the data tools, like the way we've priced them on our side, is usually when you go searching for the data, you find like $1 per 1,000 leads. So we took that as the baseline. We put it the same, except these leads would actually be, contact ready. They're fresh. These aren't like recycled bits of data, and only get pulled on special request when somebody makes an order. So we do take like 24 to 48 hours to prepare them, but that's the biggest drawback there really is. And the third one is actually what makes this lazy model possible, which is the actual AI setter and generating leads as a whole. So how this system works is fairly simple. This is one that we built out basically ourselves, and this is what turned our company pretty much around. So a little background on building it, we took out the way top agency setters globally speak, behave, how they pitch, and built out an agency setter/booker that takes the leads we feed into it, qualifies them based off of our agency's ideal client profile and specific metrics, and the ones that are fit end up booked on a meeting directly with me into my calendar. Now this whole thing took us probably the better part of a year to fully develop. And again, for partners that's included in the system, this is already pre-built. So put it this way, you do not need anything to make it function. You just plop in the data, you feed it the data, which I've also written here, and it directly gets you 10 to 30 meetings booked with your ideal client profile. And also obviously tracks all the data and follows up to the clients that it tried to reach previously, but they dropped off at some point, and just logs all the conversations. Now in this last part that makes this lazy model work together so well is obviously the framework and the part where you collect cash. And it isn't a necessity, not by any means, but this is one that I've seen sometimes boost our partners' closing ratios even by 3 to 4x, because what is the point of leads coming in and meetings being set if the closer isn't able to close them? So what I ended up doing on my side, since I'm the closer for our company, that made this work is we implemented a closing framework specific to the services that we sell, obviously. And I've also worked together with a sales coach for quite a while now. I've been doing sales for 4 years, and I've collected a total of $700,000 in cash across low and high ticket, and I also provide coaching actively. So it was relatively on lock for me already. But here's the biggest changes we saw with our partners over here, right? So you do not need to come up with a closing structure like we did. We literally give a direct one-to-one closing structure already. That's a general baseline. And the craziest part is after implementing it, it is agency ready. Again, it's pretty much like a product. After implementing, our partners, one of them was able to see 2 to 4 times higher closing ratio right off the rip. So one example I can think of is we worked with this one company, website developer out of the UK. They couldn't close any deals at all previous week. Following week comes, they were closing up 2 deals at 100% of a price bump after reworking their offer over here and after implementing the closing structure. So now I just want to show you actually some of the stuff we were able to pull off with our old consulting offer that we provided till October of 2025 this year with our own company after implementing this structure that I've just outlined here and integrating the AI setter that basically does all of the work for us. So here's the results that we were looking towards. The first one was time that we wasted on marketing efforts and reaching out to other companies. So we went down from an insane 100+ hours all the way down to 0. And this is one part where almost all agencies that do not fall in the category like trying to duplicate the lazy model end up spending a lot of time. And I say this because even if you don't actively do reaching out, such as like cold calls, messages, emails, whatever, you end up making a lot of content for social medias, you end up doing this, that. And if you look at us, we basically, up till this point, don't appear anywhere. We haven't made any content, and I'm going to show you a bit lower in this video what we have achieved without having our faces basically anywhere. The second thing that changed for us immensely was sales and advertising expenses that come with that. So our big one that we invested in previously, where we spent $3,000 to $4,000 average per month, was we had an active setter in the company that was reaching out to other companies, data tools for this specific person, and also data that we would actively have to acquire for a higher cost because we didn't have the system we have now. And these expenses, we were able to lay off the workforce and go to $150 a month right now, which is insane. That just kind of covers for like Zoom subscriptions and the CRM tool we use, which isn't even accountable as marketing, I guess. And the biggest one that I felt personally, since I'm the closer for the company, is the time we spent on meetings, where I spent on meetings. I went from doing 50 to 60 hours per month on meetings down to 10 to 30 hours. Now, naturally, this means that we took a lower quantity of meetings. And it might sound like, bad initially, but 50 to 60 meetings a month is 10, I think, to 13 meetings per week, which is grueling considering that most of these prospects coming in from outbound were not qualified one bit. And I know that some of the agency owners watching this relate very, very well having these outbound efforts pay off where you basically get pointless leads that don't know why they're there, why they even showed up, right? We went down to 10 to 30 meetings per month now with the AI system. We don't need real people who actually qualify all of them. They come in pre-qualified and they are ready to go ahead with our service or are already educated at a certain level to know what the discussion is going to be about. And that moves me on to my next point that I've outlined here, the new client count and closing ratios we were looking towards. So with this 50 to 60 meetings per month, we were literally closing only up to 3 clients per month, man. So sometimes we would take 50 meets and close 0 people, 0. That goes to show the qualification criteria is just absolutely not it over here. To closing 4 to 7 now. So we roughly close in 4 to 7 clients every single month. And we come to the meetings, attend them. It's such a relief to go this route. Oh, and also our closing ratios naturally went from 7% closed to 39% closed up to date if we compile all of it together. I also want to show you the average deal values, what happened after we redeveloped our offer. It's shown in dirhams, which is local to UAE, since our company is based in Dubai. I just want to put focus on this. So you see here like 2.2 thousand, 2.2 thousand, 2.6 thousand, and we went to numbers such as the ones here, like 8K, 8K, 7K, and the lowest that we went with the consulting offer was here. You can see 3.8 thousand, 3.6 thousand, I think. The audience, this is the crazy one as well. Thanks to the AI that we put in place and also the knowledge base that it has behind setting that we developed like exclusively for marketing, for agencies, so across the B2B field. We went from selling locally ourselves, so we have two offices, one in Latvia and one in the UAE and Dubai. We went from selling locally to selling in all of these countries to date. So one of them we have Canada, we have Saudi Arabia, we have the UK. We have the UK twice. Actually, I should delete one of them. There we go. So we have Canada, Saudi Arabia, UK, America, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, Estonia, Australia, and obviously the UAE as well. So we're now selling in a total of 10 countries. So 10 countries across just a time span of a few months. And I feel like it's also very important to go over why this specifically works for our partners right now and in which cases it wouldn't work. So the reason this AI and the lazy system is so good for us is because the target audience is small to medium businesses only and exclusively. If you're an agency that is trying to target big companies, so we're talking enterprise level that work all over the world and have hundreds upon hundreds of staff and millions, tens of millions in turnover, this system will not be a fit. It will not work for you. I can say that outright. However, if you are a small to medium business targeting agency and also want to copy the lazy $100,000 MRR model that I showcased throughout this video, you can book in a free consultation, which is one-on-one with me, by clicking the button either in the description of this video on YouTube or just the button down below on the video. Within the one-on-one meeting, here's the following things we will be going through. Number one is going to be an analysis of your current sales channels and roadblock identification. Number two, we're going to be looking to analyze your ideal client profile, your agency's capacity, and just general alignment of your financial goals and strategy. And the third thing, obviously, if we're a match, we would be able to proceed with the actual setup within the next 72 hours after settling on an agreement. Oh yeah, and lastly, if you're not an agency owner watching this video quite yet, I hope I was able to inspire you to move forward to slamming those agency doors open all the way, because I literally just gave you a foolproof blueprint that pushes you ahead as an agency owner, ahead of the 95 percentile of the entire industry. And you can also, subscribe to my channel, leave a like if you found any of what I discussed here useful. My socials will be in the description of this video. Oh yeah, and you can shoot me a message on like Instagram or something. I'm always up for a chat. That's all. Cheers. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you have a great one, and I look forward to hearing from you.